What's up, Drop Services? Dylan here. So today we've got another interview with Stephen, who's from Auckland, New Zealand. He was actually working in the tourism industry when he started drop servicing, and today he's built an online business that's growing pretty fast, doing $23,000 in contracts this past month. And he's going to tell us about his journey so far. So good to have you here, Stephen.
Yeah, awesome. No, thanks for having me, Dylan. It's been a really awesome journey. We're coming up what is almost 12 months now since I started with the blueprint. And yeah, like you said, like 23,000 just this month, and obviously looking to grow that exponentially over this course of 2021. So yeah, where I kind of started was basically I was working in tourism, as you mentioned, and obviously due to the pandemic, things didn't pan out the right way. And so kind of about halfway through the year, I was subject to losing my job to that. But yeah, at that point, I was already about 4 months through with the blueprint, and it took me around about 5 weeks to get my first sale. And with that, it was kind of at the time I learned to build up a whole lot of patience, really, like patience, but also persevering through times where, some days you just might not get any leads or anything like that. And it just might seem a little bit dull. But in other days, yeah, you do get a call, and you treat those calls in a way of like practice each time. Even if you don't get that sale or the client will close it, you kind of ask yourself what you can do better next time. So even just getting someone on a call was, in my way, a sense of achievement throughout that time before I was able to get a sale. And then, yeah, after the first sale, it was a good one as well. I think from memory, it was around about $5,000 or $6,000. And I kind of took that, and for me in one sale, it was like, wow, that's quite a lot. Compared to now, it's a little bit different. But yeah, at that time, I was like, wow, how can I take this and, reinvest it and try and scale it and everything like that. And I was obviously in the group, and I was asking the questions about how to, where should I put this money? Should I do this and this? And then another sale came through as well. So all of a sudden we're sitting, with a nice little bag of about 7,000. And so that's when I decided to jump on board with mentoring. I thought one of the greatest things to invest in is education. And so investing in myself with that money, I was able to find a way to try and scale a little bit quicker. And yeah, it took me through 6 months of mentoring and learning a lot, applying that. Some of those months, would be what we call bad months, and then other months were good months. So it's always like a bit of a roller coaster at times. I think that's for anyone that owns a business, you're going to have those kind of things. But eventually, like within your first year, it's the hardest. And now coming out of it, it's definitely been good.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a pretty cool story as well. And I guess, what made you decide to join the blueprint, and what was kind of the underlying motivation that, pushed you through all of those challenges to that first success?
So I've always been interested in kind of trying to find ways to make money online. Let's be honest, like it's kind of flooded all over YouTube and things like that. And so, yeah, I was always kind of chasing it in a way and trying to find these different ways. And for example, drop shipping was one way, which, I tried, I failed. And that's because a whole lot of different reasons. But when I looked into more drop servicing, and I'll say it, and probably a lot of people have seen it, just a YouTube ad that just came up, and I was like, hey, like being a fellow Kiwi myself, I was like, hey, this guy sounds like a Kiwi. I'll check him out. I'll check out what this drop servicing business is. And yeah, from there, just jumped on the webinar, was really impressed, and took it from there. And yeah, being able to get in, the barrier of entry, in my opinion, wasn't too high. So it was into the course with the two options. And from there, yeah, just seeing the community and seeing other student results, and just the way that yourself had built up your business, and also your other business as well. It was, yeah, something that I thought, this is actually quite a cool business model that can be sustained for a long time. And it's also ethical. Like I find it very ethical in that way. And, it doesn't leave me thinking that developing like this imposter syndrome or anything like that. It's kind of, yeah, it feels good that we can deliver. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really interesting, and I think that's similar across everyone that does make that jump. They already kind of have that motivation, that desire to build their online business. And once you jumped into the blueprint, what were your initial impressions as you went through, the content, coaching, and community?
Initial impressions, I was pretty excited at first, being able to see, like I said, I've tried all these different ways of making money online, joined different groups and things like that. And to be fair, a lot of groups just seem to kind of die out pretty quickly. And suddenly you've just got not a lot of people being active or anything like that. So jumping into the group, I was able to see that a lot of people were being active. And in fact, I was really impressed with yourself being active. Just to give you a little praise there. Like I was actually kind of surprised. And even to today, like just seeing that constant replies, whether it's comments or live streams or, anything like that, just helping, which is awesome. So so that community was great. And then obviously the course in terms of a complete overview, hands down, like it's a lot. I can probably say I still haven't really finished the course. There's still a lot of videos in there that I've still yet to watch as I look to develop my business more.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. A lot of people say that as well. They haven't finished all of the content in the course yet, and they're already, achieving awesome results like you are. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of results you can achieve once you've actually completed the course. But tell us a little bit more about that process of getting your first clients once you had actually started to implement the course.
So, I got to admit, like my first sales call was probably one of the shakiest calls I've ever done, sort of thing. It's sort of like when you're public speaking, you're that kid that has to stand up and do a speech in front of the class. It was definitely, challenging. And even though I had the script right in front of me as well that I had to read from, there were still times where you kind of get questions that are sprung upon you that you're kind of like, oh, that's not on the script. It's a little bit different. So you definitely try and you develop this sense of like winging it in a way, but it's still a little bit educated as well, and being able to take what they've said and finding that you can just easily just turn around and say, hey, I'll find that question, like find an answer to that question. Is from taking that and then getting them on board and just on like the onboarding and kind of developing the different tools that you need behind the scenes. So you learn how to kind of communicate with them with this tool, and then you do some project management with that tool and so on. It's really cool learning these, and also just finding new tools. Even though I already had tools for me, you're always trying to find new ways of how you can like impress your client and with these cool little techniques. So definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. It's really cool to hear those stories of getting your first sales as well. And obviously, as you know, going from that first sale to all of the rest of the sales that you get after that, it's never that same amazing feeling of getting that first sale, even though you're making a lot more now than you were in the beginning. So what are your kind of goals in the future with your business?
Yeah, with my business, I want to try and create some sort of consistency as well. I think not just, I guess, consistently and let's say $10,000 a month or 20,000 a month, consistently growing and taking that exponential growth curve. So that's my main goal, is to keep growing it. Right now, I kind of am in a position where I am like self-funded and self-employed and everything like that, which is great. I mean, that is my ultimate goal, is just freedom. And once you kind of like learn to like how much it will cost you to live, then you might only need half of what I earned this month or whatever. So taking that money and rather than increasing your spending, you actually take that and just invest it into the business itself and find ways to develop it. So now my overall goal is to try and scale what I'm doing, but also look at ways to automate in certain areas, and being able, I think that's one of the hardest parts. I'm still kind of, I guess, like myself, I'm still struggling to find, is being able to trust these people and like hand certain things over and in order to automate the business. And I know even just in a general business sense, when you hire your first employee, I think that's one of the biggest things, is learning to be able to trust them and also provide them with the right kind of working procedures and everything like that. So that's overall goal, is try and free up a bit more time and allow me to dedicate time and energy in other areas that'll help.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good plan to me as well, especially at the point you are now where you're driving pretty decent revenue. start getting that automation, more freedom in your business. So for sure, I look forward to seeing that happen. And yeah, I guess, this has been really good so far, really awesome to hear about your journey. But are there any kind of closing statements or last words that you have for the people watching, Stephen?
Well, for people watching, what I'd have to say is you do have to take that first initial step into anything. It might seem a little bit daunting, and to be fair, like, you can try and go and do it yourself or anything like that. But again, if you are to invest into the drop surfacing blueprint, everything is in there. Like it's in the name. It is the blueprint. It shows you how to do everything, and it can really try and fast track that process rather than you having to try and find scattered information. So that's the initial part, is just take that step. And then once you've taken that step, is just put in the effort, like not just for 1 week, not just for 2 weeks, for what was 5 weeks before I got my first sale. You just want to keep going and have that consistency, perseverance, but also, be patient as well. And that's something you kind of learn over time, is, you're not going to get, you're not necessarily going to get a $10,000 sale or within a day or something like that. But I mean, you could. That's the thing. Anything can happen, but it's not about luck. It's the people that are consistent. They're the ones that get lucky because they are consistent along the way, for sure.
Yep, 100%. I think that's really great. Nice words of wisdom there. And yeah, thanks so much for joining us on this interview here, Stephen. I look forward to interviewing you in the future once you hit that first 100K month and have your business fully automated. It'll be the next one.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. And I'm as sure as you as it's going to happen. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll talk to everyone soon. See you later.